It's 9 o'clock. Could you join us for the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, do we have a motion to approve the minutes of the Monday, February 10th meeting?
I'll second.
Been moved by McCurry and seconded by Peterson. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
No Tom today? No Tom?
Yeah, he's not going to be here today. Were you here for this meeting, Todd?
I read it now. I wasn't there.
Okay, so you probably abstained.
Yeah.
Okay,
So motion passed 3-yes,
yeah.
one abstention.
Okay. So I guess I didn't read this, Ed. Motion to approve and direct the chairman to sign the memorandum to department heads regarding Form CP5 for one-step movement.
That's for our step increases here in April.
Okay,
We do every year.
okay. I'll move.
I'll second.
Been moved by Thompson and seconded by McCurry. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. So I just sign this anywhere?
Right here by your name, just
Okay.
initial or sign it, whichever you want.
Okay.
And I'll get those sent out.
Okay, motion to rescind paragraph 20 in the minutes of Monday, February 10th, 2025. McCurry moved based upon the recommendation of the sheriff to approve the request to solicit bids of removing and replacing concrete to the west of the courthouse, courtyard, horseshoe, and concrete at the southeast door coming out of the existing jail to the southeast of the existing Sally Port, not to include the existing stairwell. Funds to come from general fund capital outlay line item. Peterson seconded. So what do you got?
Okay, so what we found out is that I didn't catch it when you guys were making that motion, but if you recall last year when you were preparing the budget, we were trying to cut the mill levy down, and down. Road and Bridge cut $1 million and some, and apparently we cut from the line item capital outlay, we cut the whole thing. So there is no money in that line.
It's gonna be hard to pay it out of there.
Yeah, so I talked to the auditor, and we can pay it from the general fund community improvement line item if you want to.
Okay.
And so I just need you to redo that motion, paying it from,
So we need to go ahead and make them up.
go ahead and approve this
Okay, it was
rescinding.
funded out of the capital outlay, but it needs to be funded out of the community improvement.
Yes.
Okay.
So do we need to make a motion to rescind this first
Yes.
then, right?
Yeah.
So I read it, so,
Steve made the motion
Oh.
originally.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Okay. Moved by McCurry and seconded by Barker. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, motion based upon the recommendation of the sheriff to approve the request to solicit bids for removing and replacing concrete to the west of the courthouse / courtyard horseshoe and concrete at the southeast door coming out of the existing jail to the southeast of the existing Sally Port, not to include the existing stairwell. Funds to come from the general fund community improvement line item.
And I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Been moved by McCurry and seconded by Peterson. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Yeah, you can go ahead, Tom.
Okay. Mr. Johnson, I believe you're up.
Oh, good morning, gentlemen.
Good
How
morning.
are you doing?
So I know you guys have got a lot going on today, and so do we, so I think I'll jump right into this and get going. So we are in the final, 90 days or so before this jail is gonna be finalized. Things are busy, as far as we need to get stuff purchased, get stuff ordered. Some of the stuff is being sent to Angie and I and Wade to look at, and then we'll just pay it from from the jail fund and move on. So some of that stuff we'll talk about today. One of the things that we've done is we've been in negotiations with Coffee Health Systems and 3 other companies to provide us medical services here in our jail, which is something new we've never had before that we must have. So we we have a contract from Coffee Health Systems. Wade has looked at it and he wanted to change one thing. I don't know where he's at this morning. So Wade would have the contract. He wanted to put one sentence in there. But basically, everything that these other companies can do, Coffee Health Systems can do. We've met with them. They gave us an initial bid. We called them back in and sat down at the table and said, this won't work for us. This is what we need. And they have graciously said, we'll work with you and do this.
Very good.
So they're about $500 more than anybody else per month. But we think that is well and fine with keeping our money locally at our hospital, keeping money in the mouths of local people instead of sending this off to some other company. Just so you know, I mean, the highest bid came in at $352,178. That adds up to be about $29,348 a month. And Coffee Health Systems is at $102,000 a year, which is about $8,500 a month.
Wow.
Yeah, think about that when it comes to trying to save taxpayer dollars. So we are grateful to Coffee Health Systems to sit down with us and discuss and argue this.
If I remember right, Tom, that number is about equivalent to another bid or two that you had. I mean, they're not really out of line there.
No, sir, they're not. No, there was another bid that we were seriously thinking about going at, and that's another company that was $8,000 a month.
Right.
And they could provide us, the things that we wanted, same as Coffee Health Systems. But that's a company away from here that's not locally here.
Yeah.
And so, again,
Yeah.
that's my recommendation is we spend that extra $500 a month and keep our money local.
We'll more than, in my opinion, we'll more than get that back from keeping the money in here.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
Wade was going to do a check or a change of one thing, so he has the contract. And other than that, that's my recommendation to you.
Yes, sir.
As soon as we can get that signed, we need to get that to Coffee Health Systems. There's a stipulation in there that we need to pay them $10,000 a startup so they can get equipment purchased and everything to be brought in here. So that's why I'm bringing it to you as soon as we can to get this contract signed so we can get it back to Coffee Health Systems.
Objection to that?
I don't either.
I don't either.
Who's been doing it in the past, or is this something new for you?
So we've never had medical services in our jail. If you have anything from, let's say the extreme, somebody says they're having a heart attack, then we have taken the CCH. If we have an inmate that says he's got a sore tooth and need to get antibiotics, we have to take him to CCH. So anything now, for 40 hours a week, we'll have medical staff here. If they want to see a doctor, for example, we'll have an APRN that's set here that they've already hired. And one day a week we'll have a med call. So if a nurse can deal with the situation, she can. If not, hey, for example, Wednesdays is med day, and you'll make an appointment to see the APRN that comes in one day a week. And if there's something happens, if let's say that Steve is in his cell, we've already got named, we put a name on it for Steve, and Steve falls and cuts his leg and has to have stitches, then we can call an APRN at any time to maybe stitch him up. If it's bad, we'll take him to the hospital, but if not, we'll have an APRN there that can remove the stitches in 10 days. We'll have it here locally. The thing that we want to do is we don't want to keep putting people in orange jumpsuits and leg irons, and belly chains and take them to the hospital. They're sitting in the waiting room just like you and I do, and that's not something we want to put the public to do.
Sounds like you'll save money also from manpower hours.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So the equipment that they're wanting to purchase will be in-house, is that right? I mean, is that...
I've purchased, it's my responsibility to purchase most of the equipment. But there's going to be stuff that they need to get set up that they're going to bring that I don't know about.
Right.
And that's part of this contract is we gave them $10,000 as a basic startup cost for them.
Is that part of the first year, or that's just 10,000 additional for a startup cost?
One-time startup cost.
Okay, so it is addition to the contract?
It is.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I'm great with that.
Yeah, I don't
was
have a
really-
problem with that, but that's equipment that they're going to need or perceive
Yes,
to
sir.
need for.
I've got exam tables, I've got suction units, you know, I've got the little eye and ear thing that, you know, you can look in, but major equipment that they need that they're gonna have, whether it be a med cart, whether it be a push cart, or
For sure.
something else, they wanted that money
Sure.
for a startup.
I was really concerned they might not be able to compete.
Yeah.
Really happy.
Listen, when we said, the first, they gave us two bids, and the first bid was significantly higher
Mhm.
than their major competitor. And we said, listen, you're significantly higher, you need to work with us on this, and, you know, here's.
I'm really glad you guys got things worked out. That's
Eric and I sat down with them 2 or 3 times, personally, not on the phone, sat down with them and said, here's what we need to do, and they came back and we're very happy,
good.
very happy. So if Wade will get you that contract at some point, then we'll get that done. Okay?
It's an easy fix too, it just has to include the provision that references the cash basis law. So,
Okay,
So if you'll do that and get it to me whenever you can, then I'll get it sent off.
very good,
Okay.
sir.
Next thing, one of these things that I was talking about us having to get paid for and us getting invoices. Brad and I and River City have sat down and figured out the number of switches that we need, IT switches, for the new facility, and that's for the entire facility. And that cost came in at $211,213.90. That is well above what is allotted in our FF&E for this. In fact, it was about, what was it, 33,000? Yeah, is what they had allotted. So we sat down with Brad and River City and said, listen, what do we do here? We need to come up with another $178,000. And talking with Brad or whatever, they have that money, Brad has that money in a reserve fund from the money he saved when he bought all of our new phone systems. And Brad graciously said, listen, I think that can be paid from this fund. Be more than happy to do that for you. And so we have said, we're more than happy to take that money. We're more than happy to take that money from you. So we don't have, again, to take money out of phase 2, for example, to pay for this.
Sure.
So we sat down and Brad said, hey, because I don't know what a switch is. A switch to me is that switch on the wall.
That's what I was
That's
gonna
not
say.
what this is. So I'm going to turn this over to Brad for a
My
few minutes.
computer illiteracy is giving me a
Like I said, I
little
brought in something for show and tell. This is an old one we've taken out. And as you can see, this has 48 little plugs in it. This plug goes to every phone, every camera, every computer. Has to plug into this. And then this, you know, runs down and goes to our main switch, and that decides where everything goes. So everything on the internet, everything on the phone, everything on our cameras runs through one of these. You have 48 plugins. Upstairs, just upstairs alone in that new facility had 205 different plugins. So all total I need 16 of these. And these are Cisco's, and that's what we have throughout the courthouse now and everywhere else. They are the top of the line. They are expensive, but I'm talking these, you know, have a part of that bid is a 3-year warranty on these and a 4-hour replacement. So if our dispatch center goes down, you know, these run everything going in and out of the dispatch center. 4 hours, we should have one here configured and ready to put in its place. And part of that bid is a 3-year warranty on them, and so they're expensive. And I usually buy 2 or 3 at a time because of the price. We need 16 over there.
So what's the life of these things? I mean, roughly.
10 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I said, I rotate them. You know, about every 10 years or so, I'll buy 2 or 3, or every couple of years, I'll buy 2 or 3.
Just to replace.
Just to replace,
Right.
because they'll run 10 years and then they become end of life, basically. And support goes out on them.
I see.
So, the phone system came in a lot cheaper than I had anticipated. So I've been pushing money away for the phone system, and
Good.
I think it'd be good for this,
Well, we appreciate that.
so, save
Oh.
some money.
Yeah, I appreciate that, so, yeah.
But this is a switch, you know, it powers everything, all the phones, you don't have to plug them in, they get power from this. So, it is a very expensive computer.
Okay.
So, that's what they're for.
Thanks, Brad. So, I learned something new today too, that's it. So anyway, that's the thing we have. What they've done is, and I'm sure that Angie has seen it, so they send Angie, and I quote from the company, it's a direct quote from the company, that River City and Derek Comey and all those have already approved on. And so this comes to us, it usually comes to Angie and me. I approve it. There's some of these things that, like this, I say, hey, wait a second, Angie, I need to clarify something. But it comes to us, for us just to PO, and then we can send it off and get it ordered, get it paid for. So that's what they're asking on some of these things. So I'm asking for, I guess, your approval to spend $211,000 for new switches. Part of that money coming from Brad.
You had $33,000 in line.
It was already allotted in the FF&E was 33. It's 211, so that makes 178 I gotta come up with.
Do we need a head nod, or do we need a motion, or?
I'm trying to put a motion together real quick. Just switches, Cisco switches?
Yes, ma'am, here you go.
Network switches.
Yeah, network switches.
Seems like it's a lot better to do a motion when you're dealing with anything than it's on record.
No,
Or two later.
Purchasing 16.
Yeah, I think it's 16, wasn't it, Brad? 16. Yeah.
That includes a new one for the courthouse too.
Okay.
We'll add one there also. The courtroom.
And technology,
Technology, reserve, tech training,
tech office reserve.
tech office
fund.
reserve, yeah.
I just like, I can't think of it.
Yeah, I don't use it much.
Well, you've got like 3. Let's see.
Technology equipment reserve.
Oh, okay.
You ready to give it a try?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Motion to authorize the sheriff to purchase 16 Cisco network switches for the new law enforcement center in the amount of $211,213.90. Funds to come from the Technology Equipment Reserve Fund.
Should you not subtract
Yeah,
what's allocated for the FF&E?
Under $38,000 from what's already built in.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I'm not sure if that's the name of that fund, I think it's tech office.
Okay.
Tech office fund.
You drew 178,000 coming out of it.
Is that,
Hold on a second.
33 coming out of the jail, the jail fund, and 178 from Brad's.
so we'd have 178, 21390 or something? But where are we?
So 38,000 coming from where?
33,000 coming from the Coffee County Jail Project for FF&E. That's allotted in the jail.
Okay, that'd be the best way to do it. Say that where it's coming from there.
That should come from the jail fund?
Yes.
Okay. I can type it all, please.
I can't help you, sorry. Not in my skills.
And you said FF&E?
Yeah, FF&E stands for furnitures, fixings, and equipment.
Fixtures.
Okay.
Would you say it was 178?
178, 213.90.
I think that'd be right, wouldn't it? I didn't
I think.
calculate it. McCurry's doing the figures here, so if they don't add,
I'm not good with numbers either, so. But I think it's 178, 213.90.
Furniture, fixing,
And
fixtures.
And equipment.
okay,
I wanna make sure I have this worded right here.
okay, we're fine.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. Motion to authorize the sheriff to purchase 16 Cisco network switches for the new law enforcement center in the amount of $211,213.90. $33,000 to come from the jail fund furniture, fixtures, and equipment, and $178,213.90 from the technology office fund.
I'll make that motion.
That's been moved by McCurry and seconded by Peterson. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Would you like to sign this, sir, or do you want me to sign it?
Whatever you like.
Doesn't matter to me either, sir. The bottom of that first page, there, side signature.
On buyer here.
Yes, sir, I think so. If not, we'll get a new, we'll get a new one and do it again.
You got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then all we need to do is then assign a PO to that, and I'll get it sent off.
Okay.
Second thing here is we are ready to purchase all of the equipment for the presentation systems for the classroom. It is $56,050.42 for another company. That comes from FF&E, nothing from us. It's already built into the system. This is their presentation they've approved and that we had the bids out for with the process. So again, I don't know how you want me to keep going through with this. There's gonna be a lot of purchases made in this next 60 days to get stuff
What
here.
we gotta do.
But I'll bring it to you. I just need a signature, whether it's yours or mine, to approve this for the system. So it just comes out of FF&E.
And Tom, this is all money that's already, I mean, that's within the.
That's within this $30 million.
Right.
Yeah, for our 25.2 or whatever for the
Right,
jail
right.
project, not including the other 5 for the phase 2, yeah. I just wanna make sure that, you know, money's coming out of that fund, and I want people to know that, you know,
Where's
it's
it
just,
coming?
that's right, where it's coming from, it's coming not out of anything extra, out of the jail fund.
Do we need to authorize and direct the chairman to sign this, Wade?
So, this exercise is one that, actually doesn't have to go through this process, but it is. I think there's probably, it's better for optics standpoint, and that's why it's being handled this way. So maybe just to either have a general acknowledgement or, I mean, as Tom said, there's gonna be a lot of these. I mean, the FF&E budget is $450,000, so, and that accounts for the furniture you're gonna see at some point in time.
Furniture, shelving, right now, we're gonna talk about the fuming hood for the evidence lab. There's gonna be 6 or 8 of these mass quantities of things to get approved, to get ordered.
Lots of smaller things.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, I think because people wanna know where their money is going, doing it in this format, and at least having a motion that it's been discussed and approved, that will probably also help the auditors when they come back and they wanna see, okay, where was this approved?
Okay.
Technically, it doesn't have to, because it's all part of the project.
I'm fine with doing motions for all of them, if that's what.
Sorry, it's a
What do you
pain.
guys think?
This would be for audio visual?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That way if anybody wanted to go back and look,
Yeah.
they could.
Yeah, that's.
And if we have POs attached to them, they can see the POs, they can see whatever's attached to it.
Everything.
Yeah.
To nail and ensure everybody.
Yeah, but I'm a very first page.
And if any of you have questions, say, wait a minute, what? You know,
I'm
so
sorry.
the early on conversation about getting a Cadillac, well, let's talk about what's being requested and why, and this is the best way to be transparent in that whole process.
Okay.
And these funds will come from the jail fund.
Yep, jail fund. FF&E.
Okay.
Motion to authorize and direct the chairman to sign the CCS presentation systems from Kansas City for audio visual in the total amount of $56,050.42. Funds will come from the jail fund, number 111, furniture, fixtures, and equipment.
So moved.
I'll second that. Been moved by Barker and seconded by Thompson. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Last thing, for the time being, is we have $33,046 from a Wynn Jones and Associates Incorporated for a fuming hood. It's a exhaust system for the evidence lab. We talked about that from day one. This again will come out of FF&E. Nothing else. We have to come up with money. It's already there. But it's for the evidence lab. And here's the quote. There's a little picture on the back of where it would go and how it's going to be put in, but this was the quote from them, $33,046.
And that's for,
Yes.
did you sign on this? No?
Somebody just needs to sign and attach a PO to it so we can get it
Oh, okay.
sent to them and get it ordered.
Okay.
Okay. Motion to authorize and direct the chairman to sign the PO for Wynn O. Jones and Associates Incorporated in the total amount of $33,046. Funds will come from the jail fund, number 111, furniture, fixtures, and equipment.
So moved.
Been moved by Barker and seconded by McCurry. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, gentlemen.
You're welcome.
And you want to just sign POs, so they can let me know, and it doesn't have to be done this for a minute.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
So I just need, do I need all three of them for
Yeah.
this? Okay.
Yeah, 3 days.
Okay.
And then Wade will get the contract, and do you want to authorize, you sign it, do you want to authorize me to sign that
Or me.
contract?
As long as he's good with it, it doesn't matter to me who signs it. I'll sign it, it's fine.
Yeah, we just need to make sure I'll print it off, or do you have it? Is it in the materials?
No, you have,
So,
as of Friday, you didn't have that changed for me yet.
Okay, so I'll print it off, show you that
Okay.
change. You need to see it before you see what the terms are. Make sure you're
I
okay.
want everybody to see that before I sign it. It's the best, isn't it?
Prepare
Yep.
everything.
I understand.
So I just
I
wanted to
understand.
apologize.
No, because I didn't know that either. As soon as I get them, I'll forward them to you, yeah. I think
Okay.
these were, but I told Jay and a couple, please wait until I get some clarification.
Okay,
But I'll try to let you know ahead of time.
yeah, and that way I can help you.
No.
So I'll move through this, as quick as I can. You've seen these before. This is payout number 14. It's for the period ending January 31st. Can everybody see that okay? Okay. This current payment with the retainage is $1,082,032.19. I have a printed copy if you want to see it. This is just one that Tom and I and Eric go over with Cole. So it has all the work and the work notes. So this is payout number 9 for Wheatland Masonry. the total for this pay period for Wheatland is $29,998.80. It ties to this work, if you can see it, yeah. Mobilization, and then block labor, brick labor, and then reference to change order number 8 and 9 that have already been processed through. So it ends up being the total of 33,332, but then you have the retainage. So since it's not unfamiliar at this point, I'll move a little quicker than I have in the past. IBC Carpentry, pay app number 11. The current payment due $71,714.47. Show your work. So this is the work completed. The ones that stand out, temporary enclosures and doors, that's wood doors, plastic, and labor, and that is in reference to for inclement weather and as they were trying to seal up the outside to the inside before they got windows and doors and that type of thing. The final product, that was what that was for. And then the lion's share of this, door fixtures and hardware materials, the $43,259 is mainly in reference to second floor doors. And then the total, $79,682.75.
Can you scroll back up there?
Yes, sir.
Question, you had some figures written down in your handwriting right there.
Right here?
Yeah. Can you explain that?
Yep, so current payment due is $71,714, but what they're asking for total is the $79,682.75, and if you look at the very bottom, right here, $79,682.75, this is the full amount prior to the retainage. So the retainage goes into the retainage account and it's held, and for this entire project, there's
Pending their performance, you might say.
An inspection, of some
Right.
sort. Okay.
So, I think this shows the retainage so far for IBC, for example, is $49,524.93 that's currently held in retainage. So that's there to help so that if they get to the end and or close to the end and you paid them, well, they want to get fully paid, so you hold on to that so they don't just walk away. They have a job in Wichita and say, well, we're going to shut down shop here early and take off.
Till final approval, they don't get their money.
I dealt with it with the building expansion.
Yeah.
They want out of there.
Yeah.
What pay app is this, Wade?
This is pay app number
14?
14.
Okay. Oh, you got it. Okay.
So Alpha Roofing, they're almost done. Current payment, $25,279. The total is $28,087.84, and that's why I do that, so you see the total. And then go in and detail wise, the show your work is what I call it. Metal materials installation, like, well, that's quite the amount. What's that for? So flashing on top cap, the metal downspouts and scooper boots is what that was for, this pay app.
Scupper, but that's.
Scupper.
Those,
At least,
Yeah,
at least I can read my writing.
Right.
He gave me a hard time. The worst thing is you have notes and can't even read your own writing.
it happens to me, though.
DH,
Bring that up,
Yeah, if it gets cold, like,
DH Restoration, pay app number, it says they have it as draw, but it's draw number 5. Current total $63,42.03. The total would be $67,46.70. And if you can read my notes there, security sealants, that's the pick-proof caulk, which would be on the inside of the jail.
Most all the jails got pick-proof caulk on it, they can't pick it out.
Joint sealants for door frames and sheetrock, and then fire stopping, top of the wall. I originally had red stuff, but I just figured red would be enough. And then for change order number 1, joint sealant revision, originally billed in post-bid addendum number 4, going back early on, that was the first change order that got presented.
The red stuff is a fire retardant. When they talk about fire sealing, it's a fire retardant that's sprayed on, so if there would be a fire, it wouldn't go above a certain foot or go back into other rooms or whatever. It's just a fire retardant.
And then there's your 67-046. Romsburg, pay app number 4, it's $1,951, the total, before retainage, $2,168. These are show your work, yellow coating for the temporary opening, and then change order number 3, EFIS over connector corridor to kitchen. Total $2,168. Higgins, pay app number 7, $85,932.16. Their total before retainage $95,480.18. It's pretty self-explanatory. It deals with the framing, drywall, ceiling, grid, that type of thing. And I think probably the best way is to visually go see what work has been done, because I think there's a lot of work that's been done even since I've been there last. This is pay app number 1 for Always Faithful Painting. That's the company that was awarded the bid for the interior painting. This painting bid for this current pay app is $18,720. The total would be $20,800. And as you see, gypsum walls, CMU walls, door frames, lifts, CMU concrete masonry walls. So that's where that total comes from. And if you go back, they still have quite a bit to do. This is their pay app number 1. Their total sum is $205,332. So they're going to be there a while, but that makes sense as the inside of the facility ends up getting more and more finished, then they'll come in and see a lot more pay apps. Poly Jail, pay app number 12, $141,766.82. So this is where you see maybe a little pivot or deviation from what the others, because all the others included work completed. This one also includes some stored materials. So work completed was $60,739.68. Stored materials $96,779. The total $157,518.68. This is to show your work, and for stored materials, completed work for 2 columns. The $96,779 is in reference to jail doors and others for the security glass and glazing and material. However, since the pay app was presented, all of those materials are on site in the facility. But at the time they were stored. And then security walls, panels, installation, that's ongoing. Continue on to the next page. SEC, if you don't remember, deals with the control for the entire facility.
All computer systems and electronics.
So basically their subcontractor who's working with them, and it's customized for this facility. Then the rest of it, to get to the remaining amounts, I think that's also self-explanatory. 39 asked about equipment rental and storage trailers. For some of their equipment, they had to have some trailers to store some of their specialty tools and whatnot. There's several change orders that are tied in and out. For example, 46 ties to change order number 1, but goes to post addendum number 4. And I actually have a sheet, if you want to see it, that Cole keeps track of all the change orders that tie to each one of the change orders and who the contractor is and what those amounts are. If you want to see that, it can be circulated.
So these, like these storage trailers you're talking about, that was part of the original bid?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So every one of these line items going up to 48, these were all things outside some of these, change orders. Okay. But, you know, up to item number 45, those were included in the original bid for Holly Jail. If you look at the schedule amount, that ties directly to that total 25 million, whatever it is, 25.7.
Okay.
So then, as time goes on, you see what's been pulled from it as time moves on, so, that's it. So here's our totals, 6739 and 996 779, that's where that total amount comes from. And then for stored materials and some of the other show your work is what I call it. I have color pictures, but these are some of the stored materials that were in reference to the $96,000. So as you see, there's quite a bit of stored materials. You hopefully assume that with the amount that was there. And then some of the warranties and lien paperwork that goes with it. So the next one will be TKE elevator. It's payout number 2. And this is in reference to the 2 elevators that are going to be within the facility. So current payment due $50,247. Work completed $2430, and stored materials $53,400. The total $55,830. This one, if you pay, you have to pay close attention because it sort of threw me off to begin with. They have a pay app. I guess the way they detailed it is for each elevator. So this is elevator number 1, the material 26,100, and then going back to change order number 2. This is in reference to the battery backup that was decided. If you remember early on, that was one of the initial change orders presented to the county. That's $1,215. So this is for elevator number 1. And then the next page is elevator number 2. The same thing. So then material, I don't know why there's a slight variation. If you look 26,100 and then 27,300, it may be. Do you remember the explanation for that?
I don't know that we asked for an explanation.
Sorry. That ends up being the total of where that comes from, but that's the 2 elevators on the north and the south. Conley sprinklers, this is payout number 5, $21,8390, or total $23,426.55, and it's labor. And if you go in the facility, you'll see through the maze of everything, the sprinkler system, and that logically makes sense. McElroy's payout number 11, this is the big one. Current payment due $303,771.60. It's total of $337,524, and then gone through each one of these. Tried to ones that didn't stand out or make sense. Ask insulation, that's pipe and ductwork, that's $54,455. The controls, because who knows what is a control? That deals with the HVAC wiring for this payout. Piping packages, while we're sitting there, I said, Cole, what's a piping package? Because we may get asked. So he called and talked to somebody live on site with McElroy's, and it deals with a package that deals with a valve with strainer and a union. And that's only $1,500, but thought it needed to be answered. And then the lion's share of this payout, RT12, RTU splits, HW coils, VFDs. This is VFDs and coils, $115,997. And then I think sheet metal, plumbing, HVAC, labor, it all sort of is self-explanatory. So didn't ask for a lot of detail there. And then that total $337,524. Any any questions, am I going too fast, or you wanna?
Okay, fine.
Payout number 11 for Shelley Electric, another one of the higher ones, 163,208.34. The total is 181,342.60, and the lion's share of it: lighting material, labor, power material, labor, power, labor, low voltage material, low voltage labor. He told us what the equipment's material was, and I thought I had made that note. Do you remember what that was?
Which one, Wayne?
11 up here, general equipment material only. I think it's all the material that has to do with item 23 through 33, maybe that's why I didn't write a specific detail.
I think that's right.
And then there's the total, and then the last 2 pages, this is change order, a change order, but it comes out of the weather allowance, and this was from Alpha Roofing. Labor to provide temporary roof covering over bump out roofs, 1809, and this had to do with the incoming weather.
Correct.
And then another one that ties to Wheatland Masonry was weather related, finished brick prior to winter storm, and that was $3,327.50. They stayed over on a Friday, I think, when they were scheduled to not be here, so they could get that finished and beat the weather. So that particular area, what area was that, so it could be enclosed?
The very west side and back south, they were cleaning brick and trying to get it sealed before the weather came.
We had that ice storm on that Saturday, or we're supposed to, and so they wanted to prep for it.
So that's the entire payout. Any questions? And I have a physical paper copy if you want to take some time and go back over it again. If not, I will throw out a motion to approve application and certificate for payment, application number 14 for period ending January 31st, 2025, submitted by River City Construction LLC in the amount of $1,082,032.19 for work completed, reference to Coffee County Law Enforcement Center project. Funds to come from the Jail Construction Project Fund, Fund 111.
I'll move.
One second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. That all you've got on that, Wade?
Yep. It's everybody's favorite time of month.
Yeah, it's okay. So, I think we've got time to visit with Connie before, because we've got to go to that hearing at 10 o'clock, right, where it's a public hearing.
Thank you all.
Is that
Thank
correct?
you.
Thank you.
Are you Connie?
Thank you, Connie, for coming in. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, good morning.
I just wanted to remind you of what my complaint was last year. Where they had PVC on the cone with the lines
Right.
going over all that.
Yes.
That's pretty much volume having original values. Sales are crazy right now. They have to be, I appraise at fair market value. And so, try to keep up with my sales, I increased 20% on my incomes. Values are gonna be mailed on Friday.
Connie, is there any way we can hold those up until the legislature figures out what they're doing?
I would only be able to get a 15-day extension. By state statute, they're supposed to go out on or before March 1st.
There's no way to go any further, being they're unlimited on the time that they've got for settling their tax.
Yeah, I don't know when that's gonna happen.
I know, but I think we're gonna end up with a firestorm of the appraisal rates going up. It was 15% last year and 20% this year. And if there's any way that we can head that off to see what the states wanna do, I feel that,
How do I do that?
I don't know, and that's why I'm asking you.
State statute, I have to mail them out.
We can't request anything until the state, being that it's in the legislative session.
I don't know, because that's not gonna take effect until next year if it passes, because I would check on that this morning. SCR 1603, it passed the Senate 28-11, and the last thing that's been listed is February the 11th. It was referred to the taxation committee in the House, and it hasn't moved since.
That's on 1603.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure that they're even gonna, I'm not sure that they're going to do anything with it this year, quite honestly, but I can't say that for certain.
Right. And then the 5001, I couldn't find anything where it's been introduced, but nothing else going on. I talked to the state on Friday and asked him on my 2024 sales, where am I at on that? And he said 75.
75%.
75.74.
Okay.
So I'm still under for last year's sales.
And their recommendation is they want to see between 90 and 110%.
And I'm usually in the 90s because the way the sales have been the last 2 or 3 years, I can't keep up.
I understand. Well, something that, obviously none of us want to see taxes go up.
I don't either.
Expenses for everything here at the county, equipment, everything we buy goes up, so,
And just
you know, things are gonna have to go up some, but
And just because the valuation goes up doesn't mean your tax dollars are gonna go up 20%.
right, Connie and I visited with Richard
It
this
depends on the
morning,
mill levy.
and something
That's
to put this in a little perspective is that if we went up 20%, then the state has a 1.5 mil, that will go up 20%. The county's portion, presently, we're at 55 mil. Now, that doesn't mean that we will go up 20%. I would expect that we definitely won't. I mean, we would look, my thought would be, and we have to see where everybody's budget comes in, but we would lower our mill levy, you know, to try to keep us not much increased over, I mean, God, that's what we're all hoping for. But, I mean, evaluations going up 20% doesn't mean our taxes will go up 20%. That's basically, I mean, right here to this board is where the 1.5, we can't change that if you went up 20%. But the balance of it, the county, the 55 mills, we can. That's in our hands.
Right.
So, I mean, if you look at it from that perspective, 1.5 is a small portion compared to the 55 that we're in charge of.
And Connie, explain again, if you don't adhere to that, if you don't go up to 20%, say you only went up 10%. So, what could happen if you did that? I'm just curious, I think you explained it before.
Right now, we've got everything printed, everything's pretty much almost stuffed. We would have to redo everything, and it would take probably a month or so to get everything.
But if you didn't adhere to that, what could the state do, I guess is what I mean, what could the state do?
By state statute, I'm supposed to be at fair market value. I'm supposed to be trying to get it into compliance. That's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah, and I'm not questioning what you...
If I only go up 10%, our values are still probably gonna be low. Everything is printed, we would have to reprint everything, and it'd probably take a month or so to revalue everything and reprint again.
So what would the state do? I mean, what would the...
I don't know.
Well,
I called him to see how long of an extension I could get, he said 15 days. And then,
I visited with Commissioner at Lynn County, and they haven't followed the recommendations, and visiting with the person from the property valuation department, they said, what's gonna happen? They said, well, you're gonna get a letter saying that you need to change it. Okay, what if we don't do it again next year? Said, you're gonna get another letter. But, I don't know that, you know, that you could really expect that anything would happen, but, I guess myself, I mean, I support whatever action we think is necessary. I mean, but
But as evaluations go up, though, I mean,
property values have gone up. We can't deny that.
and that's all I'm trying to do is keep up with that.
Well, we're gonna have to do something, because we've got quite a few people in Coffee County that are on fixed incomes. If we had a 15% hit last year, they want a 20% hit on appraisals this year, we're gonna push people out of their homes based upon taxes. And I will not stand for that. I mean, for myself, I mean, you guys can
Right.
speak your own, but I don't wanna see somebody on a fixed income having to move to a place because they can't afford their home that they've lived in all their life because of taxes.
And I don't do taxes, I just do valuations.
You do evaluations, but they're still tied to taxes.
Right, right.
Well, that's where, when it comes to budget time, I mean, we have to be mindful about that, and
Yeah, we
You
have
try
to
to-
set the mill levy accordingly.
that's what the revenue neutral rate is for.
right,
If you can stay with the revenue neutral rate or just slightly above, then at least you're not raising the taxes or doing it very little. I think what's hurting people more is probably insurance is kicking in the
It's
butt.
everything in the economy, the new administration,
but,
it's on and on and on.
but just because evaluations go up, taxes don't go up automatically, Todd.
Just the state.
I understand the mill
portion,
levies
Right.
that this county sets.
Right,
But it's still, for example, if we stay the way we are, we increase our mill levy, or property appraisal 20%, and a house $100,000, what's the new appraisal on it? $120,000. What's the taxes assessed upon that?
Well,
Well,
not if
that-
we drop the mill levy.
If we drop the mill levy.
That's up to us guys right here.
I understand that.
You know.
I'm trying to give a little bit,
Everybody else who's setting levies, I mean, it's up to them.
I understand
too.
the school boards, I understand everything like that.
Yeah, you're right.
because I
yeah.
think the perception is if evaluations go up 20%, your taxes go up 20%, and that's a misconception, is my
But
point.
if the mill levy doesn't drop,
Yeah,
If we keep the mill levy at the same,
yes.
which,
I wouldn't wanna do at all. I'd wanna lower it, yeah. I mean,
Yes,
I'd wanna
yes.
lower it to try to stay near the level we're at, you know.
And I'm for that, but I do not want to see them go up after what happened last year with increases. My phone right now is ringing off the wall.
Yeah, I got phone calls last week too.
Mine is too, but
I mean, they saw it on YouTube, and, you know, we gotta do
but I
something.
guess the main thing is that Connie is doing her job.
Oh, I'm not bagging on her. I'm not, don't take it that way, Connie.
That's what I'm trying to convey.
I would like to,
Connie's doing her job exactly the way she should be doing it.
I would like to see lower bites at it on the appraisal rates going up. Instead of 20, maybe 10.
But how do you catch back up then?
We don't know what the economies or anything are gonna do, and I know Coffee County's a hot place for property, but we also send an awful lot of money to Topeka, based off our properties and other counties that are not doing the same thing. This is something, I spent the first part of the week getting a hold of legislatures.
yeah.
Brad Barrett, I talked to Karen Tyson. It's kinda like, oh, well, you guys kinda gotta do your thing. Mike Argabright, I talked to Dan Hawkins. We've got to do something. And Connie, I'm not bagging on you.
Right.
Okay? Just look, I think it's gonna take a collective unit of help here. Maybe you pinch them back just a little bit instead of the 20%. We work to drop the mill levy somewhat. You know, you got a bond issue getting ready to come up in Burlington that's gonna take a big shot on this. So it's gonna take an entire hit on people, and we need to do what we can to prevent it from happening.
Right. Yeah, I'm sorry, we're at 10 o'clock. I don't know if we've got to do that other hearing, don't we?
Yeah, it's gonna be an open and close, just real quick, so
So
you
if
could,
you want
if
to
Connie
just
would
wait a
step
minute,
back.
Connie. Sorry to interrupt you, but
Okay, so on this hearing, if you guys wanna go ahead and open it, right,
Okay. Motion to enter into a public hearing at 10 a.m. for the purpose of hearing and answering any questions regarding minimum maintenance roads within the northeast quarter of Coffee County.
you want to talk about it too?
Go ahead.
Okay, so when you guys had this discussion last fall, November, was it? Apparently there was a communication error or something, so the roads that were supposed to be, made.
So a few weeks ago, when we set this hearing date, we didn't get this published in the paper over the last 2 weeks, so that's part of the requirement for this hearing. So, I mean, now we just need to postpone the hearing and push the date back to March 10th. If that works for you guys at 10 o'clock, and that way we can be sure to get it published, the resolution published in the paper for a couple weeks.
That's fine.
Okay, so we still need to enter into a public hearing.
I'll move. I'll make that motion.
Okay. It's been moved by Peterson and seconded by Barker. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
So there's no one here from the public. We've recognized that the hearing needs to be postponed until March 10th, correct?
So now you need a motion to close
Mhm.
the hearing? I'll make a motion to close the hearing. Second.
It's been moved by Peterson and seconded by Barker to close the public hearing. Any further comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. So,
Now you can go back to
so we're done for,
This was just a unique situation because it was originally referred to the zoning board as it's required. The zoning board sent it back up. There was an issue, or some citizens had a concern. Once it got to the original public hearing regarding, I think, number 14 and 15 and 3, this board sent it back down to zoning to reevaluate. It was reevaluated and then sent back up. So it's sort of a winding road, and historically that process of procedure hasn't occurred. So this one sort of is maybe an outlier to what normally happens, but that's why you want to have those hearings and have it happen that way, because what you'll find is the recommendation is the 14 and 15, the recommendation from zoning is they be removed. The process worked the way it should, so.
So Barker seconded that, closing it, and you said 10:02?
I did not say,
Okay.
so the meeting
That's
closed
what
at
it was when I
10:02.
looked at.
Okay.
Okay, now you can go back to Connie.
Okay,
Ryan, are you gonna send me the roads? so we can
Yes.
publish?
thank you.
Also, I was gonna tell you, last year, our assessment went up 8%, and the mill levy only went down 2%. So,
Say that again, I'm sorry.
even though I went up 15% last year,
15%.
our assessment went up 8%, and our mill levy only went down 2 mils.
It went down 2 mils?
It did.
But we stayed at revenue neutral, correct?
Definitely. Because even though I went up 15%, our assessment only went up 8%.
How is that?
8% from the previous year.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about the county?
Yeah, the
assessment?
countywide,
Which
the
includes-
assessment
Includes
rate.
Wolf Creek
Right,
and
everything.
everything.
Right, that
It only went up
includes,
8%.
that includes utilities,
Right.
which utilities did go up a little bit
Right.
from the previous year.
And the 20% we're talking about is just residential.
Residential. Do you have a breakdown on that on land and utilities on the percentages they went up?
That would, state assessment does the utility companies, and
What
that
about
goes
the land?
to the clerk's office and the treasurer's office.
What was the percentage on the land?
I don't know, on our ag
Of
land.
property, yes.
Actually, ag land's going down this year,
It did,
about 2 or 3%.
it did.
That's it.
And then, most of my land stayed about the same as what it was last year.
Because it does seem to be weakening a little bit
Mm-hmm.
in some instances, the land values or
Yeah.
market values, I should say.
And it's ag land's on ag use, not market value, so that helps there.
Right. So you don't think that, if this House bill passed, that wouldn't go into effect until,
According to what they're showing here, it's January 1st, 2026.
But what they're proposing is like a 3% lid. I mean, that's which I think would be horrible. The other one is like using a 6-year rolling average, but neither one of them have been, they haven't really gone anywhere.
Here's your legislation right here. So the recommendation that for those who watch and are concerned with any increase in valuation is to get a hold of your state representative.
Okay.
That's where the power of the people, even at this level, because the more voices that people in Topeka hear who are making decisions regarding any legislation, the more they realize it's a bigger issue than just isolated maybe to one particular location. So this final taxable appraised value of real property classified in any subclass of personal property classified as mobile homes used for residential purposes shall not increase by more than 3%, or a lesser percentage as provided by law in any taxable year except when, and then there's some exceptions. And then it goes through and references in the bold. I don't want to read it because people can reference it if they want. But at the very end, the amendment would roll back the valuation starting point to provide for that tax year 2026, the final taxable appraised value of such property shall not increase by more than 3%, or a lesser percentage as provided by laws compared to the tax year 2022 appraised value of such property unless an exception applies. And then at the very bottom, this is when the trigger is for usually any legislation. This resolution, if approved by 2/3 of the members of the elected or appointed and qualified to the Senate, 2/3 of the members of the elected or appointed and qualified of the House, shall be entered on the journals together with yeas and nays. The Secretary of State shall cause this resolution to be published as provided by law, and shall cause the proposed amendment to be submitted to the electors of the state at a special election, which is hereby called on November 4th of 2025. And then there's also, just like there is on just about any other legislation, a supplemental note, and it kind of gives maybe a brief and a summary and talks about what this legislation is about, what it would do, who's in support, who's not in support, that type of thing, at least at this stage. So opponents it appears Kansas Association of Realtors, Kansas Farm Bureau, Kansas Livestock Association are listed. Concern, approach to limiting property tax provided by the bill would not result in lower taxes, but shift the burden of taxes paid between classes of property or between properties within the same class, and that other approaches are available that would reduce taxes more effectively and more fairly. I think there's also, so I only bring these up because they're important for the public to know they can go. This is where it's located, Kansas legislative session. This is tied to, what is it called? Senate Concurrent Resolution 1603. So SCR 1603, over here on the left, you go in and that's where you make your inquiry. And then the short title, if you get it right, is proposing to amend Section 1 of Article 11 of the Constitution of the State of Kansas to limit property tax valuation increases for real property. And then it shows the history and where it started and where it currently sits. So it was introduced by the Senate, or to the Senate on Wednesday, January 15th of 25, and it's sort of taken several different steps along the way. Currently, as of Tuesday, February 11th, 25, it's with the House and referred to Committee on Taxation, and that's where it currently sits. You see the bill as it was introduced, then as it was amended by Senate committee, and it'll show sort of the history, and that's where, I don't mean to monopolize the time, but that's where people if they want to get the information and know what's going on, especially at the state house level, they can go here, look at it, and then get a hold of their state elected officials.
With this being taxes, they don't have a time frame, isn't that correct? Where they have to settle this, they can drag this out as long as they want?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because the 3% lid has came up before, if I remember right, the last couple of years, and it didn't go anywhere. And quite honestly, the 3% lid is, I think it's a horrible idea, because, I mean, it helps me as a homeowner, but if I want to sell my home and go into a new home, I'm going to be adjusted back to the new appraisal, isn't that right? So it's, or new homeowners, it's not going to help them. If I understand it right, Tom. And I'm not trying to, they throw stuff out, and some of it just isn't workable. I mean, the whole gist is that I don't want you to be, I think Connie's being blamed some for this, and she's just doing her job, I guess is what I'm trying to, and not from you, just from some of the phone calls.
Right.
And I just want to convey that Connie Lawrence, I mean, she's doing her job exactly the way she should be doing it.
I'm following state statutes.
You're following state statutes. I guess that's the point that I wanted to bring out.
So if, you know, if you say you're going up 20%, there's a difference between, so is that, like if you're at 75% now, so does that mean that's times 120%? Because if you do that, that puts us at 90. Or are you adding 20%?
That was for 2024 sales. They're saying my sales were at 75 for last year. Even though I went up 15% last year, I'm still only at 75%.
Okay, but 75% is this number that we're talking about, that they want you to be between 90 and 110. My point is, if you go up 20%, you take 75 times 120%, that's 90%. That's your goal?
My goal is to be around 90%. Yes.
Okay,
I don't want to be
so we're
at
not
100,
adding 20% to 75% and gonna be at 95.
Not necessarily.
It's taking it times 120% basically. And that'll put us
I'm just
at
trying
90.
to get to 90.
Okay, that would put us at 90, not, Because I understood the other day when you were here that you wanted to be at 100%.
That's what it was showing, my 2024 sales with my 2025 increase. But like last year, I did it at 115 and I'm still at 75. Our sales are crazy right now,
I understand, that's,
and I'm just
I
trying to
hear
get,
people listing houses and they ask 50,000 more than they think they should and they're sold
Mhm.
in 2 days, you know. So your goal would be to be at the 90% of the figure they're
Exactly.
asking
I would
for.
rather be at 90% than the 100 or 110.
Okay, so maybe, you know, that, because I was thinking about that last night, it's like, well, are we adding 20% or are we going up 20% of the present figure? So it's 20% of the present figure, so you would be at the 90% level.
Hopefully, yes. Hopefully.
Okay,
These houses would quit selling so high.
But as long as there's a shortage, that's not going to
I
happen.
am. And if we get any other businesses in here or whatever, we're gonna really be in a world.
that's why we need more industry and everything to help share this burden. I mean, we've got a tremendous amount of,
No, what, you just said that we have new industry come in, we're gonna be in a real hurt.
No, we're a housing shortage.
Oh,
just the
okay,
housing.
okay.
shortage.
No,
Yeah.
it's the housing shortage.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it's like, no, I think it's the opposite. It'll help if we get new industry, yeah.
That would be
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, because we're just looking at every, you know, just like Wolf Creek, they're depreciating, you know, I mean, they put a bunch of new transformers in. I don't know whether the state's gonna raise their taxes because of that, but I mean, as a general, they're gonna continue to depreciate, you know, that plant's old. And not that it won't be in service for a long time yet, but, they're gonna keep battling to get their taxes lowered, you know.
Because they are based on, valued on company as a whole and then divided by each county that they're in. That's a
I
number.
see, they are based on the company as a whole, not individually for what's in our county. Okay, I didn't
And then they
understand
separate it
that.
out by county.
Okay. I'll try to remember that, but I'll forget it before I get home.
We've got a lot of work in front of us to keep people in their homes, and it's gonna hit the county hard with their departments. We're gonna have to make that adjustment.
Well, we're gonna have to really work to try to lower the mill levy to
Yes.
make up for this, is what my opinion is. You know, we can't help the 1.5, but that's a small fraction compared to our 55. So, you know, the state, we can't change that,
Right.
but we definitely can work on the county
Right,
side of our
county
budget
side.
here.
We do need to get the word out with all of us, with our patrons of contacting their representatives and people at the state level.
Sure.
And raising Cain with them about this.
Yeah, and I don't think, Todd, it's, Coffee County's unique in this
No,
problem.
it's happening everywhere.
I think it's happening.
Well, there are some counties out there that are way below that and that continue to be at that level, way below it.
I think the highest one I've seen was, Fort or Findlay County raised theirs 35%.
But I mean that threshold between 90 and 110,
Right,
there's
right.
some that are way down there
Right,
in the
Right, and you can go on,
40s, I think. it
on,
was.
Department of Revenue and look at the
Right.
different counties.
They've got to do something with it. It's-
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
I agree, Todd. We all agree on
I
that.
don't-
It's for, no, like when we did our revenue neutral hearing here before, we had several people in here, and they were all very respectful, and I
They were.
understood everything that they said. You know, one lady, she moved here to retire, had her house payment calculated, her income and all these things, and now her taxes are going up, you know?
Yes.
And it's, well, it's inflation. It's just, I guess, the blame of all of the biggest share of this is that everything has gone crazy, and for us, I mean, obviously, like I said before, I want to reduce the mill levy as much as we can to try to stay as near as we can, but bottom line is, it's going to take a little more money to run the county, no matter how we do it.
Belts are going to have to be cinched up.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, Todd, I mean, last year, the belts were cinched up pretty well just to be able to stay within.
We cut quite a few things to stay revenue
did.
neutral last year.
And to your point, yes, we do.
Also, I wanna let you guys know that my deputy appraiser his last day is Friday. So, I'll probably wait and see what happens after the values go out and go from there.
Okay. Okay.
Done?
Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you, we appreciate it.
And the appraisals are done on home dwellings. I mean, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
And so that's actual sales that
yes, in our county.
in our county.
Comparable.
Just comparable
Yeah.
pieces, okay.
Okay,
I'm really not that thick,
Thank
well,
you.
yeah, I am thick-headed, but I'm just trying to get
that's
everything.
okay.
I want to make sure, try to understand it correctly.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. Well, do we want to take a break or?
That is great.
Okay. I guess we'll break for 10 minutes till 10:31. So we're back in. So I guess next thing on the agenda is Road and Bridge Superintendent Ryan Durst, department update.
Good morning, everybody.
Welcome, Ryan. Good morning.
Weather's a little better, is it?
Yeah, weather's a lot better. So we didn't have any call-outs this weekend. Last week, did have some extra hours working on storms. We got along pretty well for the temperatures and what we had.
Good.
So, the guys did a really nice job, and equipment cooperated for the most part. So, we've got a few motions today. And the first one will be for our culvert bid that we had put up for just a stock order of culverts, and come in really close. There's $800 difference between the two low bids there, but just award that to Contact.
Looking for a motion to find that the bid for assorted culvert pipes be awarded to Contact Engineered Solutions as the best bid, and to purchase same for the sum of $89,216.69. Funds to be paid from the Road and Bridge Fund.
I'll move.
Second.
Go ahead.
We gotta need to redo something there?
Yeah, it's actually 96 cents. That's a mistake there, not 69.
Okay. I guess I'll amend that to say 96 cents at the end of that. Or can I do that? So we still got our
You're
motions?
fine.
Yep.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. I didn't ask for any discussion, sorry. I don't believe there was any.
Thank you. Next would just be for spring cleanup. It's also known as free dump week. And we do this every April. And so we just need to make a motion for the.
So moved.
Barker's moved to, based upon the recommendation of the bridge and superintendent, to designate April 14th through the 19th, 2025 as spring cleanup week, and request the county clerk to publish the notice of the same. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
McCurry seconds. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you. The next one is for our striping, for our chip seal and asphalt that we'll be doing this year. So it'll be 60 miles of that. And then we'll also have an extra 43 miles that we'll just do the center line only, just repainting on some of the yellow, getting it brightened up.
Okay, motion based upon the recommendation of the Road and Bridge Superintendent to approve the request for authorization to solicit sealed bids for approximately 100 miles of highway paint striping S2501-C at several locations in the county.
I'll move.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Go ahead, Todd.
Go ahead.
Been moved by Peterson and seconded by Barker. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Alright, thank you. Then next would be for some summer mowing, that we have done. So there's 4 locations across the county. One is the park up at 50 and 75. Then there's the Rock Creek Cemetery, which is over around Waverly. Hope Cemetery, which is south of 22nd and Emmer. Then the New Strong Monument.
Okay, motion based upon the recommendation of the Road and Bridge Superintendent to approve the request to solicit sealed bids for seasonal mowing at Old 50 Park, Rock Creek Cemetery, Hope Cemetery, and Strong Monument, 16th and Fauna. I'll move.
I'll say.
Been moved by Thompson and seconded by Peterson. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you. Next would be for some bush hog mowing out at Jacobs Creek at the sewer lagoons that we take care of. This is something that we started doing last year. Due to the permitting, there's some tight criteria on how that stuff's got to be mowed down, and it was kind of got to be an inconvenience of us we tried to mow it when we were in the area, but we weren't getting around there soon enough. So this worked out pretty well last year and was pretty reasonable.
Okay. Motion based upon the recommendation of the Road and Bridge Superintendent to approve the request to solicit sealed bids for seasonal mowing at Jacobs Creek Lagoons.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Been moved by McCurry and seconded by Barker. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes.
Alright, thank you. Next, I have a CP2. This would be for Joshua Bruckner, and this is for the completion of his probation period. So he'd be moving from a step 1 to a step 2 for an increase of 39 cents.
Motion to authorize and direct the chairman to sign the CP2 for Joshua Bruckner, heavy equipment operator, highway, probationary period complete, step change from wage classification 3501 to 3502, from wage $20.89 to $21.28, effective February 19th, 2025.
Second.
Has been moved by Peterson and seconded by Barker. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thanks. Then another CP2. This will be for Nathan Dorr. Completion of his probationary period. He's going from step 3503 to a 3504.
Motion to authorize and direct the chairman to sign the CP2 for Nathan Dorr, heavy equipment operator, highway, probationary period complete, step change from wage classification 3503 to 3504, from wage $21.68 to $22.07, effective 2/26/25. I'll move.
I'll second.
Been moved by Thompson and seconded by McCurry. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you. Those are the motions that I had for today. So I don't
You're welcome, thank you.
have anything else. You guys have any questions on anything?
Well, I had a compliment from someone. Compliment was the person that said they were happy to be able to use the road across the dam because some of the other roads were starting to blow shut there, and they appreciated that was kept open and they were able to use that to.
What's our goal? To try to leave that road open as much as we can.
Yeah, because a lot of it doesn't drip because of, it can't very well.
Yeah.
If it drifts, we're in trouble, I guess.
But no, I know that's kind of been some adjustments out there, but yeah, we'll try to leave it open as much as we can, but we did have to close it here a while back just because of snow depth. Where the wind blows on top of there, it does pile the snow up sometimes. But
Right, the railing
Yeah.
catches it, I'm sure,
Yeah.
some. But,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I know some people don't like to see it closed, but it's just one of them things. We're trying to treat that section of road, just due to the gates,
Yeah.
at the core there, so.
Okay, well, you got a nice compliment for it, so.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Trying to get
All right, thank you.
Thank
You
you.
guys have a good week.
You too. Well, see, Rhonda's not here yet, so. 40.
I've got a motion, you need to fix another issue.
Okay. Do you want to explain that first?
Yeah,
or-
so, again, this motion was made last August 26th of 2024 when the budget was in process of being set. Since you guys were trying to lower the mill levy down, you cut, that 1.25 million for line item capital outlay in general. So you do not have that money available. So we need to rescind this motion and redo it, saying we would pay for it again out of general fund community improvement line item.
Okay. So, a motion to rescind paragraph 21 in the minutes of Monday, August 26, 2024. Ninth, move to authorize and direct the chairman to sign document number A101-2017, Coffee County Health Department remodel between Coffee County and Boats Construction Company for a contract sum of $389,000, $277,120.67 in funds to come from the CARES Act and the remaining funds from the general fund capital outlay line item. So I guess I'd move to rescind that motion.
I'll second that.
Been moved by Thompson and seconded by McCurry. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Okay, we have a motion to authorize and direct the chairman to sign document number A101-2017, Coffee County Health Department remodel between Coffee County and Boats Construction Company for a contract sum of $389,000, $277,120.67 in funds to come from CARES Act fund and any remaining funds from the general fund community improvement line item.
I'll make that motion.
Also.
Okay, it's been moved by McCurry and seconded by Peterson. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Does that get things back?
Well,
So far,
Okay.
I just know that definitely when you're budgeting this next year, you'll want to think about what you want to cut if you're cutting, because it's going to tie your hands on a lot of things.
yeah. Well, I guess we can sign a few
Yeah.
items till Rhonda gets here.
Do you want to check some vouchers too to begin? Any,
Yeah.
or just that?
Yeah, we'll do these.
Uh,
Work on these.
Do you guys just want to work through lunch today,
That'd be
or
great.
check some vouchers? I mean,
Yeah.
That's, that okay with you guys? Yeah. Yeah.
do you want lunch, or do you just want to work through and?
Well, let's see. All of our stuff's on schedule here this morning. I guess I'm okay unless you guys want a sandwich or something.
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. I cheated because I was in here Friday and I wasn't. Some making me look fast or that I don't care.
You've already looked. I go and see what she'll give you.
I'm gonna have another motion for you guys also.
Okay. Sure, why not? Whoops, okay.
It wasn't, yeah, it wasn't me.
If I don't goof up a couple things at least every week, somebody's gonna be disappointed. Heard?
Huh?
Heard? Is that what I heard?
Doctor.
Everything that I've got, everything is coming down, well, good, and that's what we're.
Okay, so it's, I need to sign it.
Are you on the-
But that's-
Sign it, we're
that's-
okay.
Okay, that's.
Should we switch it?
Oh, okay, okay, that was what I thought it was.
Yeah. So, traffic study. KSMC alignment services, scope of work.
Explain what it is.
Okay. Yeah. It's good.
So we've got a, motion to pay CFS engineers for the KSMC project pre-development services for CHIPS at US 75 and Old Highway 50, I assume.
Oh, yes.
Highway 50 intersection in the amount of $84,950, funds to come from the general fund community improvement line item.
And so, I believe this was an agreement you guys had made with Cook, Platt, and Strobel with, Saban.
Yeah.
And so he's been involved with traffic study reports, cost share agreement, KSMC alignment of services, scope preparation, meetings with what, utilities, with county attorneys, I guess. Have you seen that, Wade? Lieutenant Governor team meetings, Raymond James. Anyway, there's no money left in the CHIPS, so in order to pay this invoice, we'll have to pay for it out of general fund community improvement.
Oh, so this is one he was gonna be revising because I have seen it, and I've actually, questioned some of what was being billed, because, for example, at the very end, it references Burlington Lake, and that went until late 2024. And Saban agreed that that should have been tied to, Road and Bridge, for work at Road and Bridge through their on-call contract. So he was Saban was taking this back and having it revised and broken down, because a lot of what was in here, or some of what was in this bill did not tie to the KSMC, CHIPS project. It tied to work done. So I think the best way to summarize that the billing needs to be distributed according to who CFS did the work for.
Correct.
So I don't think I've seen the revised bill, but I did question him on this, and he agreed he was gonna take it back to his accounting department.
So we wanna table it for now then, or?
Yes.
I just
Okay.
wasn't made aware of that, I apologize.
Okay, no, that's fine. We'll just table it for now then. So, what do we wanna do? Do we wanna go ahead and bring Rhonda up? or-
She's there.
Okay, Economic Development Director. Okay, let me get the right line here. Rhonda Truda, Airport Signage. Good morning, Ron.
Well, I'll just hold
Good
off
morning.
for them. Yes.
I'll hand this out to you.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
I don't know if you've been up by the airport, but we have two signs up there, one facing south and one facing north. We did the one that you see when you're coming south, the north face. This is the south face. The top picture on the left was taken in August of '24. If you flip this next page, that was taken a week ago. You can see how much more damage has been done by the sun.
Right.
And I've got a bid for this. It came in at $7,950. They did give me a discount of $385, even though we're only doing one sign this time.
To get you to the 7950.
Yes,
Okay.
and I was wanting your blessing to go ahead and get this done. The last time it was refurbished was September of 2019.
Okay.
And that's usually about the life of a sign.
Well, it's, I guess my thought is, for us to look like a place where people wanna be, we need to keep our appearances like that up, you know, like, I know we were discussing, the money at Vito up there in Todd Mission, you know, maybe putting another sign up there of some type, and, I think that's all important to,
Mhm.
you know, I think we're an up-and-coming county, and we need to represent that to people, so. I know if I recall correctly, when we did the last ones, not just everybody wants to do this for you, I mean,
Mhm.
did you have more than one bid, or?
This is the company we went through last time.
Okay, okay. Cause isn't that about the same amount that, you know, times two that we
Mhm.
did last time? I was thinking it was 15 something when we did two of them last time.
They charged us full price for one, and then they gave us a discount on the second one. But this time I asked if we could just get a discount doing one, and she said she'd check.
Okay,
So
okay,
$385 is pretty good.
yeah.
So what fund would the money come from?
Economic development,
Just
special expenditures.
Well, what was the bid again?
It was $7,950.
ready for a motion? I'll move that, Move that we have Lumineo signs. Have new, poly metal panels with digital printed graphics for the sign at Coffee County Airport, the south sign, correct? In the amount of $7,950, with the funds to come from the Economic Development Special Expenditures line.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
Been moved by Peterson and seconded by McCreary. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes.
Do you want to sign the contract or do you want me to?
I'm happy to sign it if you like.
So we should probably add, move to authorize and direct the chairman.
Everybody's good with that, I assume.
To sign the contract with,
Lumino? Yeah.
with Luna Signs to have
Okay, so, yeah, install new poly metal panels with digitally printed graphics.
Will that be installed or?
Yes.
we-
That is installed.
Okay.
And I think there's a place on that sign with the pictures too. Sign.
There's a lot here, so,
Like,
okay.
and I believe our 11 o'clock interview is downstairs.
Okay.
So what is the date today?
24th.
Steve, you seconded on that, right?
I did.
Got that.
You're right.
That's all I need. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, thank you. Do we need a copy of that or anything?
Do it.
Do we need a copy of that?
I can get you a copy of it if you need it.
You'll have it if you need it.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Get you a motion for executive session.
So how long do we think we need?
Typically, go 40 minutes.
Hmm.
Are you going down there, Wade?
That's up to them.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Let's see, Rhonda's gonna be there too, right?
Yes.
Is that your only applicant?
Yes.
Finishing that up, so that.
Okay.
Still for 40 minutes up there.
Oh, my number, yeah, that I did.
So, motion to enter into executive session at 11, I guess I'll state the time when we're done, for 40 minutes to include each of the commissioners, County Councilor Wade Bowie II, Interim Economic Development Director Rhonda Trulove, and Economic Development Applicant to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel, to interview the applicant for the Economic Development Director position under Kansas Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4319B1, to resume.
Oh, you're good, just stop there.
Okay, so.
Might add the word director there, economic development director
Oh.
applicant.
Yep, thank you.
Okay. So do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Then moved by McCurry and seconded by Peterson. All in favor, say aye. So we will enter at 11:05.
Is it for the same thing?
Yeah, for 20 minutes.
Yeah. How are you, Tom?
Good, and you?
Good to see you.
Mark,
Mark, how are you? No, you're fine.
Okay, I guess we're gonna go back, we're back in, and we're gonna go back in for another 20 minutes, and we will enter at 11:51, I guess.
I'll make a motion for what he said.
Yeah.
Twenty
Sorry.
I'll second that.
Then
Same
moved
reason,
by
20 minutes.
Peterson and seconded by McCurry. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
What time did you say we entered?
11:51.
51. Okay. Ready to vote? So, would our meetings be no action taken? Ouch.
Now you have the option if you wanna go back into executive session to discuss or wait.
Well,
Should we, I wouldn't mind doing that, but should we wait on Tom, I mean, to see if, or, of course, he's not,
that's the bad part. He's not here today, darn it.
I guess I wouldn't mind going back in and,
So sometimes the idea is to do it immediately after you've had the interview, because that's when it's most fresh and recent.
Right.
I'm very comfortable with doing that.
I move that we go back into executive session for 10 minutes.
Take care of Carl first, and you go?
I'll take 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll set it to 10 minutes. I mean, I
Well,
don't have a lot of questions for you guys.
You're
Or
right.
anything controversial.
Is that immediate?
Take care of. No, that's fine. Yeah.
I withdraw.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Put it on hold, okay?
What it is just a summary of what I did over 2024. I haven't been up here on a regular basis, and I apologize for that. And this is just a highlight of some things. It's not all the little things I've done or any of the self-improvement or any of the research I've done to help, like, so it's something like TEM or anything like that, or some of the issues we've had with solid waste or anything like that. What that is it gives you a rundown of everything I've touched over the year. Like with the permit issued on the wastewater ponds. Some of that was just leftover work that I finished up that Maryland had left for me. So that's why those numbers are large. I'm not going to say that that'll be that way every year. And as you go down through it, like installation plans, that's something that I get when people build something new. I give them an installation plan to the contractor. I usually do that with anybody that puts in a septic tank in a lateral field, because there's not a lot of forgiveness in something like that, and the landowner needs to know what's going in.
Yeah.
Now on the verses, with a wastewater pond or lagoon, most of the time contractors don't want one. The landowner goes, as long as you're happy. So I don't put a lot of bureaucracy in, making sure and putting paperwork out there. I try very hard to keep the system very streamlined. So when I'm working with people, whether it's a real estate deal or with somebody building a brand new house, that we keep it as streamlined as possible so it keeps them moving, so they can build and have a good experience in Coffee County. Any other questions you have as you look down through there? I've spent quite a bit of time on trusted electronic stuff, like I said, researching like if it was a wastewater issue, how they're going to recycle and reuse wastewater. I felt like if somebody, whether it's Steve or Todd, any of you come to, so how are they going to do this? I can pull material out and we can have a discussion how it may or may affect what they do up there. So I spent time doing a lot of self-improvement on items such as that. Like one underneath planning and zoning meeting, I had somebody ask me once, how does KWO, be the Kent Water Division, when do they permit a pond or a lake, or what size? So I went, called them and asked them and brought it back to the next meeting so we could have that discussion so people knew what it was. So there's things like that that's a little bit outside the ordinary that I spend time with also. I try to spend a lot of time looking up law if I got a question so that I know what it says, so if Wade and I need to have a discussion over anything, we're both up to speed. I can bring it to him also.
Yep.
So, I like to participate with Public Wholesale 12. I work with Ben Coltrane a lot, which is Midwest Engineering. Him and I have interaction once in a while, talk about what's going on and what's going on with the water plant up there and how that affected TEM.
How is that going up there?
Right now, everything's still holding together as far as with Public Wholesale 12. I shouldn't say holding together, but everybody's still optimistic. They just like to know what's going on. They're like everybody else in public. Everybody's holding their own. Everybody's still very optimistic. They know that this is a keyhole for them to expand and upbring the whole region. I mean, they look at it as a regional project also.
As we all should.
Right.
Yeah. And so they've been very, very supportive. I've talked to Richard Marsh, who's the board chairman, and he just wished the politics would end, as we all would.
As we all would. The water study, is it,
I don't know where it's at. I haven't been intimately involved with that because when you start getting into distribution, that's more of a Kansas Department of Health and Environment, Bureau of Water. It's heavily regulated by the Bureau of Water. So I kind of stepped back away from that because the difference between that and what I did with the Kansas Water offices, I was dealing strictly with what the volume may be and not how it's going to be distributed.
Okay.
And so they're still working on that as far as I know. I know that I think it's Alex Darby is the engineer for Coffee County RWD3, and he's doing a lot of work on that to make sure we have a good product.
Okay.
Questions? Is there any complaints? Anything I need Alex got a hold of you about?
No. Not bad.
Is there anything we can do to help you out?
Right now, he's been really good to help me anytime I got questions or need a hand. My partnership with Heidi, if we need to complement each other on anything, we've had a really good working relationship. Anytime I've got questions concerning things, Wade's been handy and been able to help me out also. I feel really confident where we're at right now. Things could change. If at TEM, we have an expansion, may need more help, we may not need more help. Well, there's things that my crystal ball isn't clear on. Right now, it's really easy. Because there's not a lot of expansion, there's not a lot of things going on.
Right, but we're just all kind of in a holding pattern.
Yeah.
You're doing a good job, Carl.
Thanks, Steve.
I mean, you've handled,
Thank
I know I've brought you some, not complaints of myself, but from the public or concerns, I guess, and you've handled them well.
I'm trying to develop that relationship with the Kansas Department of Health and Environment where we can lean on each other. When you look underneath up here, underneath the draft nuisance annex for that, what it is I've developed a relationship with the Southeast District Office, which is our representative office. So when we do things, if I got a bigger project than what I think we can handle, we can use them to help leverage the situation. I'm trying to develop that situation. And specifically specifically with the situation we had at the Hall Summit that I worked with you on.
Yeah,
And I've worked with the central office and the district office on that.
and hopefully that's been resolved somewhat. I mean, I haven't,
We'll find out when the weather returns.
yeah,
I mean, we'll give
it's
you
an
a
ongoing issue, I know, but anyway.
So,
Looks good to me.
okay. I'll do a better job this in 2025 getting back up to see you guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so how much time do we think we need if we want to go back in? Did you say 10?
10, 15 minutes.
That's what I don't know if we need 15. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's quite enough. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, Tim.
I don't really think it'd take too long to discuss what we need to discuss. So,
It's been,
we haven't made a motion yet, but I guess it's probably just for us and the commissioners and Mr. Bowie.
yeah,
Do we need to bring Rodney in on it, or
Well, that'd give us an opportunity to see
if she's still here, on her lunch?
she left.
Okay. Then that's with us.
Yeah, okay. Move to enter into executive session for 10 minutes to include each of the commissioners, County Councilor Wade Bowie II, to discuss personal matters of non-elected personnel, to discuss the Economic Development Director
Applicant.
applicant.
Does that sound okay?
Okay, under the Kansas Open Meetings Act 75-4319B1. Do I have a motion?
I make the motion.
Been moved by Barker and seconded by Peterson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We will enter in at 12, pardon me?
give us an extra minute.
Okay. 12:29.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I guess so. We are back. So, no action taken at this time?
No action being taken.
Okay. So I guess we'll do all our check signing, or we do round table first?
I can get down the round table.
Pick your poison.
Pardon me?
Pick your poison.
Okay. Well, Angie's gone, so I guess we'll start with you then, if you want to, Wade. Or are you gonna try to con her back into this first again, since she came back?
Well, today checks and documents day.
It is, yeah.
Yippee.
Months ago.
Where did the month go?
It's a short month.
It was short.
Well, I probably have 2 executive sessions. One is gonna be 5 minutes long. It's gonna be attorney-client, and it's gonna be in reference to, discussion regarding a legal document. And yes, I can get it done in 5 minutes. Then the other one will be similar, same underlying reason, but probably 10 minutes, and it will be review of a legal document related to Maribel's, wherever that physical address is.
Okay.
Is that something we could do in here, or would you prefer it downstairs?
I mean, you're wanting to do that, so I don't save my,
Yeah.
The miles you have left for today.
So what's the one, the first one, can we do that here, or?
that's fine.
Okay. Okay.
I'm okay with both of them being here if you are.
Okay. Motion to enter into executive session for 5 minutes to include each county commissioners, county councilor Wade Bowie, to discuss matters deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship regarding a legal document under Kansas Open Meeting Act, KSA 754319B2. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that. Been moved by McCurry and seconded by Thompson. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We will, so do we enter in immediately, or will we give ourselves a minute?
Give yourself, I have to go grab something.
Okay, okay. So
2 minutes?
2 minutes, okay, well, is it 44?
44.
Yeah, so we'll enter at 12:46.
I'm not.
Okay, so we're back in. No action taken.
Then I take a trip around the room and come back on the next one.
Okay, okay. So, Todd, did you have anything on the round table?
Things that my phone has got excited about. There's an awful lot of communication that's going on with our patrons through door hangers, phone calls from Hecate. And it's irritating for some people out there. I just want to put that out there and let you know what's going on. I've got photographs of the door hangers. They're trying to get information. And in their phone calls, they're trying to push that somebody take the lead, and from what I gathered from it, shorten the moratorium.
But that's not, for one thing, that's not gonna happen. I mean,
I'm just saying, this is what I'm getting calls about and stuff, so. Just to let you guys know that's out there, and then they're talking about all this money that they went through with the school. I just wanted to let you know on that.
We did have I think maybe it was a week you were gone, we had a letter from a citizen encouraging us to shorten the moratorium. Just so you do that.
Okay. And I apologize on that, that was something I planned on
no, that's,
before I even ran for office.
I'm just kind of sorry you didn't invite all of us.
And then, the other thing I had notes, and I got this information from a senator, and I think I spoke earlier about it, from Grant County. There is $3.2 billion in the Kansas coffers right now. But Kansas is spending $400 million more than they're taking in every year. And we need to get that word out to our patrons. And right now, they're happy that they're taking in between $10 to $25 million every month, more than they anticipate. And they're just cutting our throats. So, I mean, that can be put out there to help put pressure on our representatives.
Right.
And that's out there that we need to help with. So I'll quit now.
back to the issue of the, the increased evaluations, I'm not sure exactly what the answer to that is. I mean, honestly, that's above my,
I don't think there is a good answer.
I'm not sure if there is a good answer.
I think we need to have a working session sometime and maybe bring in, our county treasurer and maybe with the appraiser, and maybe all work together and come up with something, maybe the department heads, because we need to cut.
Well, that'll come on this next budget side as far as, because until we know what the evaluations truly are.
Okay, that makes it a question. So, in this 25 year, are we running off of 24's taxes? Where there was an increase of 15% on the reappraisal?
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes,
Budget.
yes, because our budget's already, that's what we're voting on.
And then we'll be budgeting for 26 when we have our meetings again,
Yeah,
correct?
this summer,
So then actually,
July.
So when do you know Wolf Creek valuation?
Not till usually around June 1st.
See, that's the big one.
That's the,
I understand all
That's what
that.
because see, 2 years, was it 2 years ago that they dropped 40 million
Yeah.
roughly from the evaluation of our utilities, which is really a kick in the teeth. Now, last year, I think they increased, what, back 15,
They gained some. didn't
they gained some
It's
back,
gained some, but I don't think.
15 some million.
So, this 15% from last year, I want to make sure I got this right in my head, is going to come in effect this year? Where the taxes will go up based on that?
Say that again.
Okay, there was a 15% property appraisal last year.
Last year,
You guys
so-
stayed
so-
neutral
So
on
we're,
that.
so we're paying on that now.
So their taxes are going to go up this fiscal year.
You know, with the taxes on it. Because we didn't,
The 20% this year.
This year, we're looking at next year.
Yeah, but we'll be working on the budgets for 2026, based off of the valuations that are happening right now.
Okay, so, and I got that.
And
What about this tax year for our patrons?
it's already done.
It's done.
they already set the
All right,
budget.
it's
Is that what your question?
Yes,
It's-
yes, that's what I-
It's already done.
It's already done.
Yeah,
Okay,
right,
okay.
it's a done deal.
Okay.
So, and that's where when we did the budget, that we did stay revenue neutral,
Yes.
and we cut what, no,
Brian cut
Well,
several
we
things
started
out
out
of his budget.
50,
63,
oh, 63, and we
we got it down to 55.
55.
Good.
So that's the background on it. I mean, we had a public hearing and,
We really, everybody, all the department heads really, at that point, scrambled to try to help us get that, because we were trying to meet that revenue neutral, and we finally did, but I don't know if, in some of those things, like some expenses may have been cut on asphalt, those types of things that may have been kind of a Band-Aid, I guess, is, you know, I don't know if it was a lasting cut, I guess is what I'm trying to say, Todd.
this next go-around will be, of course, the evaluations for what she's doing, and then the evaluations of our utilities coming in. Will make a big,
Yeah, that's well over 85% of it, so I mean, you know, that's a huge hinge, it's hard to make any plans at all till we get that.
does that help?
Yeah, I mean, I've read all this and been through it, and I read from what other counties are doing and everything. To me, it's almost like we're paying more than our fair share to the state. And it's not our fault or anything, it's all above us that we can't control, but I dang sure don't wanna see somebody on a set budget.
Right. I saw she had the sheet of, I don't know where the heck I did with it, maybe it's here, but,
There's some programs that cover.
Yes, I did see that.
yeah, and also how many other counties were going up this year, but to me, it didn't tell me where are they at now on their score with the state. You know, how many are, if we're at 75, then how much company do we have there? You know, how many other counties are that or below? You see what I'm trying to say?
There's a website where you can see all of that. And I've looked at that, and I can't tell you exactly, but it's just like, and I know property is so expensive here.
Yeah. Yeah, that really hurts us. I mean, tax-wise. But I guess that means that there's a reason they're valuable here. That's the good thing, I guess, is we have some things going for us apparently, but it's a double-edged sword. So, Mark, do you have anything?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Nope.
So you've already talked about what you had in mind, huh?
I'm done.
The only thing I've got, I intended to get I wanted to get this lease stuff for the Bailey property underway last week, and the weather and everything else. I came in late in the week and Kara was out sick because I wanted to get some mapping done. And long story short, I didn't get it done. Really wanted to try to make that happen this week if at all possible. I guess here's just kind of what I jotted down and see what all you guys think. I mean, obviously these will have to be put together, you know, ready to work on to put the legal jargon in, but, you know, the lease would end December 31st. Grassland will be used for hay production only, not grazed. Cropland acres may be used for grain or forage production, no fall crops, wheat, etc., because we are terminating at the end of the year. So, no other land other than what is presently tilled to be tilled up. I mean, there is some old go-back grass there and stuff, but any tillage would be limited to that 31 acres that's, you know, that's been used for farming now. Grassland shall not be hayed in extremely wet weather, causing bad ruts and damage to the land. I mean, you're gonna get some tracking sometimes, no matter what, but, you know, I think we'd be willing to work with somebody if they, you know, need extension or something to get, we wanna try to avoid that. I don't know whether that's something you could really enforce in a contract or not, but, think it wouldn't hurt for it to be in there. In the case the leaseor, which is us, should need any of the land before the end of the lease, then the leasee shall be given credit for those acres. No damage will be paid for any crop input loss or loss thereof. So, you know, whatever they put in the farm ground or whatever, you know, if 10 acres of that got taken, then they'll get their money back for the 10 acres, but not for their crop inputs. And the same way with the hay, it'd be just getting the rent money back, and that would be it. 100% of all government payments for the year would go to the leasee. Visited with them at the FSA, and since the government money's kind of got stalled this year, they do have till April 15th to get signed up in the government program if they chose to. Typically it'd be, I think, the 15th of March, I think, which would put us in a jam, but they do have till the 15th to get it signed up. My thought was that the bid will be by the acre for the total area inside of the boundaries, less the acreage around the improvements in the lake. So that's what I was wanting to do, mapping with Kara, just draw around the lake, a little strip that goes up to the lagoon and stuff there in the back, take that acre out, bid on total acres inside of the boundaries. Everybody can be their own judge how much waste there is, bid accordingly. I mean, that's very common. You typically, for any 95% of the stuff I rent for grass, you rent 160 acres if it's a quarter, and you may only mow 145, but that's up to the leasee to determine what they want to bid.
And this is all cash.
Yes, cash. Be paid by November 1st to 25. So, anybody think of anything else that we should try to get in there?
It's just one bid for the entire deal, is that correct?
Grass and farm
Grass
ground,
and
the whole thing, so
right.
much by the
Sure,
acre.
sure.
I mean, that's not premium farmland,
No.
so I mean, and that's a small acreage, so I didn't see any reason, you know, how would we do two bids
Right.
and then
Right,
we don't want one landowner or one tenant for the grass and one for the other,
Yeah.
'cause you gotta go across the grass and it's all intermingled, it's kind of an odd shape, so. I think we just put it on one bid if that suits everybody. So, I'm gonna do my very best, try to get this done this week.
No, I
Should have
think-
already had it done, I apologize for that, but,
So,
I think you're on track there.
got to,
okay, okay. And that's all I have, so. Well, Angie?
The only thing I have at the moment is, you had a couple people that applied for a couple of the boards that, I didn't know if you wanted to do anything with yet or not, one for tourism and one for zoning and planning. Of course, I'll put out an advertisement for the boards that are coming up in April, which I think is fire and airport.
Well, I guess our policy's been to open it up, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Since, we have not always renewed people who asked to get back on.
Yeah.
So, I guess those need to be advertised again, would be my thought, wouldn't it be?
on the two upcoming.
Yeah, for the openings that are coming back up.
Right, but these two,
So right now we have tourism, and we've got a couple seats on that.
yeah, a couple seats available on tourism.
Do we have any seats vacant on planning?
We had one that came around earlier this morning.
Yeah, because he assumed a short term. Damon Burke took over Jacob Schneider's, because he resigned.
Did we already do
I'm
that?
pretty sure that's right, Willow went around this morning.
Well, I have this one, yeah, but I don't know,
Oh, you have a different?
we haven't appointed anyone, is what I'm saying.
Well, I don't think there's any openings, is there?
Hold on a minute.
I mean, I think Damon's already on. He's just reapplying
Oh,
to go
okay,
back
okay,
on.
gotcha.
See, that's why I was confused. I didn't think there were any vacancies.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there
But it
is.
is coming up.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I think he's just turning in an application,
So we have,
because it's gonna be open again, yeah.
yeah, so we'll hold on to that one then. Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
No, that's
But
fine,
we do
that's
have
fine.
a couple on, which we have been advertising for, on the tourism board. So I don't know if that's
Okay.
the one.
Did I not sign that one?
No, I know you had another one aside from this.
I took the pressure off me, but
Oh, okay, okay.
for something I had 4 or 5 that I hadn't signed.
So this one has already
They're just,
been advertised for some time.
we've been running it for quite a while.
So what's everybody think? Do we want? I mean, I guess if that's the only one we got, we could put this person on if we want to.
That's
And
on
the one that's,
On
That one.
the tourism and visitors board.
that's the one that came around 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. I don't know him personally. I mean, I know the name, but, you know.
So, do you want to invite the people in to have them come, especially if you don't know them? That's the best way you get the exposure, so you kind
That
of.
would,
That'd probably be the best thing.
I think we'd ought to probably try to stick to that policy, but, I think it's helped us. These last ones we did, I felt like it helped us learn more than what we knew from the resume.
So I can call him and get him scheduled to come in? Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
If he's available.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will give him a call.
If it makes any difference, tourism board meets once, maybe twice a year, whereas your other boards are like monthly. a lot.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
Okay, okay. So who do they meet with then? I mean, is there other people already on this board?
Just the tourism board.
Well,
they-
actually, pretty much about gone now because the chamber director's leaving, she hasn't already,
And then she's gone.
and so,
You need to basically decide how to spend the bed tax money. Is
Is economic
one of the
development-
primary things.
Yes, are they involved in that, economic development?
Have they been on that?
Yeah. Usually the economic development director and the chamber director, and get somebody representing the hotel industry probably, and then, I believe it's 2 at-large members.
I think so. It doesn't say, it just says 2-year term. I have to go back and look. Dig it up, I guess. That's all I have, I think,
That's all you
today, unless something comes up.
Okay, and I was supposed to go back around the table again.
So,
Right.
you were talking about this here a little while ago. This is, I think, the KDOR property valuation data. This is specific to residential. It has links to commercial, industrial, ag. For those at home that want to get on too and take a look. So I'm hitting on residential, so that's the one that seems to be the focus right now. So what I'm trying to figure out is how it looks like this only goes through 2024. If I'm, well, I guess that's where it would go through.
Right.
So those who county percent change distribution for residential. So there's a graph that says 0 to 5%, 8 counties, 5 to 10%, 39 counties, 10 to 15%, 37 counties, 15 to 20%, 12 counties, over 20, 8 counties. Maybe there's a different way to look at that. And then you can go in and look at the map here, which this is the kind of the interesting or the neat part. So for Lyon County, for example, median percent change 5.54. Coffee County, median percent change 17.10. Woodson County 9.5. Greenwood County 8.38. Osage County 4.75. So as you see with the legend here, Coffee County's in the green, which apparently you don't want to be in the green. Green is not good in this case.
Right.
Franklin County 13.04, Anderson County 10.01, Allen County 9.45, Neosho County 4.59. Just trying to show those who are somewhat near or around.
Is that Penny County in the green right there?
This one,
Yeah.
15.
Oh, it's Hodgman County.
Greenwood County, they're Garden Cities.
Yeah, it's a little more to the left.
Yeah.
Whoa, look at that one.
51.
Who's that?
Iowa.
Wow.
Harper County 22.47. Lynn County 25.89. Jefferson County 130. I don't know what that means. Black, no value.
That's what we want to be.
Atchison County 15.68. So, you go back in time, 23.
So we don't have any,
15.68.
what about reservation land? But I suppose there's other land in that county, so there's still gonna be a reading for it in there. I mean, do they pay taxes? reservations. Not that that's irrelevant, I guess, it's just something that popped into my mind. I thought, nothing marked on the map for that.
See if there's for Coffee County, this is, the industrial, commercial industrial. .12. That one's not as significant. But it's kinda neat just to be able to go on and see what's there. This is, ag land.
Okay, showing negative.
Negative 11.81. Anderson County, negative 10.25. Osage, negative 19.02. Greenwood, negative 6.48. Doesn't solve the question, but at least has some place to look for some additional data. So it just shows overall 21 residential median appraised value total, basically 7.4, and 22, 8.1, 23, 9.1, 24, right at 10. So, but what I really had was another executive session. Okay. That just was a bonus.
Well, I mean, it just seemed like to me that inflation is just the biggest culprit, that it's just so, like Todd said, I mean, you've got all these people on fixed income, and this inflation it's hitting them from every angle, you know. I don't know how you do it, but I'd be supportive of some legislation that after you're 70 years old or something, you didn't pay property taxes.
Hey, I'd go for that.
You know, on their
Social
own.
Security, sales tax.
Do what?
At 65, 70 years old, Social Security, sales tax, we pay that once.
Yeah. Yeah, they shouldn't be taxed on Social Security income.
And that could be coming down this, it's been proposed anyway, so.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's being talked about, but
If you want.
it's being talked about.
Yeah, I don't know how
There's
it's
people
fly.
that are against it.
Yeah, I know they are.
So we ready for executive session? I'll make a motion to enter into a 10-minute executive session to include each of the commissioners, county councilor Wade Bowie II, to discuss matters deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship regarding a review of a contract document related to Marie Bells under the Kansas Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4319B2, to resume in the commission room at,
What, we gotta make her time.
whatever, I guess we enter at 1:21. We resume at 1:31. Is there a second?
Been moved, do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Barker, moved by Peterson, any further discussion?
You just stay right here. Is that right, Mark?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
She said 120 instead of 121. We'll see if there really are 60 seconds in a minute.
You want to switch off?
You think it should be? That's what I went with her first thing this morning, and she gave that to me. Excellent. And
I didn't set mine, I wasn't. I'm just sitting here looking at the clock.
I lost track of time.
And no action taken in this previous executive session.
Outside of, what I just presented, I don't have anything else for today. I think for not having a meeting last week, covered a lot of territory.
I agree.
Yep. Just vouchers. Thank you guys.
I've got all those, Angie.
Okay.
This goes, everything that I've got in my hand is going into that green folder.
okay.
I'll try to get everything signed and stuff.
Stop there.
Okay. Was that on the first pack that I handed you? Must have been.
Must have
You
been.
heard what he said. Okay. Everything he has.
I think.
Okay.
I'll try that again.
sign the front one?
I haven't yet.
Okay, the front one's all you need.
Okay, all right.
Nope, this is gotcha. This is all you guys sign there. Oh, there you go. You just put the-
Yeah. Can I go right with these?
Yep. Here. Wherever you want to put your basket for stuff
Okay.
coming. Everything else will go in there. Here was a special issue payroll in the back of that book, so to get in.
Okay. Everybody uses.
Yeah.
Road and bridge. Still goes into the road. These checks.
I think so.
These checks still run at the bridge thing. They don't need to go.
No.
Any of the
Yeah.
checks I can.
Check,
pull out.
get to me, yeah.
Kind of like handing you the big stacks, and that way it keeps you busy for a minute while I go and check.
I thought maybe that whole stack was just one signature, but then I found out.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
There's another motion we're gonna have to rescind from February 10th, for those Marieville roof replacements.
Oh,
Because somebody said to pay it out of economic development capital outlay, but Rhonda said there's not gonna be enough money there,
Okay.
so we're gonna have to change that, I suppose, community improvement again.
You're a lot more familiar with the funds than I am, what the solution is.
It's really our only choice at this point. So,
of the Kansas Association of Counties membership, is that, I mean, is that about what it is every year? No, I was just,
yeah. It's per commissioner, it's $1.50 each.
per commission.
I see.
Up here.
Yeah.
year, or is it?
It all came out of the same basket.
Same basket, all right, fine.
Well, yeah, I think so.
Cause you haven't started on a new basket.
Well, one second. You know. Road and bridge or
Okay.
something. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Uh-huh.
Not my intention. That's just a deal there that needs signed.
Okay. Is this separate from,
Well, it's in this basket.
okay. So once they get done with that, then we'll start a new basket.
Yeah, that's what that last file thing.
This is all part of that, huh?
I think that's the end of it down here, I think. If not, they'll have to figure it out.
I think that's the end of that, and then I'm starting moving here, I believe.
Okay.
They're trying not to mess it up.
Somebody smarter than us will figure it out. Or smarter than me, I should say.
You know, you can include me anyway.
That's it.
Okay.
Or yeah, whenever you're done with that, I'm not trying to rush.
No.
I'm not sure we split this at the right spot from one basket to the other, so.
Okay. We'll figure it out. See where we're at with. Okay. So where are you confused from?
Well, we just wanted to make sure that we had the first basket done right.
This should be the end of
Okay.
that,
I'm not sure where
we think,
if we split it in the right spot.
will that be,
Looks like it, yeah.
Okay, so this will go into the second basket?
Yes.
Okay. Go hard. I'm not even sure that
I'll
they're
take
gonna,
that one.
not even sure they're gonna make it into the NCAA tournament this year.
I'm not keeping track of them, or any of them for that matter. I don't discriminate, I just don't participate.
You can vote.
My wife can tell you that. Go, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You done, you think you can have a snack now,
I don't know, I got enough grip left in my hand to open the crackers, you know? Just getting a little bit of a headache, so I think it's time for a little peanut butter.
Good job, Betty.
And I doubt if it's really that low, but it just feels like it,
You can tell.
yeah.
I got something that was yours.
Yeah, I guess. Must have been, I don't know how I put it over there, but there should have, or something else.
That's that black one right down there. I'm coming down in the elevator.
That's good, isn't it?
usually get 2 questions here on this policy.
Okay. Thanks, Scott.
In the security.
Is this,
Okay, there. And then the second one here. Just something fancy or something.
Christian graduation.
So we can't print them locally. Okay, I'm good. We've got a lot of printing places in here, so we'll have to go over about some.
Rhonda.
No?
Yeah, she's,
Okay, all right.
it could be especially the meeting for you.
Okay, I just saw that, I knew you had a lot around here.
Yeah.
so Just trying to keep it on the
Mhm. Do you want me to mention something to her, or you want to talk to her? Okay.
I mean, if it's something they've got set up and it's all handy and everything, I understand that.
Sure.
Lot of hamburger now.
Oh, our regular customers picked up a little bit,
Yeah.
nothing too much extra, just some stuff around.
Is there?
Yeah, that's I'm said somewhere, you don't need to call anybody, they don't need to call us to haul
Yeah.
over to it, you know. A lot of it's not very good quality, but, you
Right,
That's all I can think there.
yeah.
That's a switch idea.
I always like the feed on.
But it goes in cattle fast.
You get paid for nothing. And then when cattle get high, oh, we're spending all our money on cattle, we can't afford any money for hay. It's always one way or the other.
Yeah. That's,
I've never had him call and say, hey, we're just right, we wanna pay you extra.
Thing I have here goes in there.
Probably not. Thinking the trees are I'll be back in a minute.
We still have that motion to do, so don't.
oh,
Yes. Forgot about that.
and the,
That'd give me something to do.
just all the other
Steve, got you here.
stuff.
You were doing something.
I was
He was on a roll for a while there, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Give him another one. Keep things turned up a little bit.
Try not to let those.
Are you still signing the other one? Okay, I just didn't want to get mixed up.
No.
These are good.
Yes.
You guys covered a lot of ground today,
See?
and still ending at a pretty.
Yeah, it's not 4 o'clock yet.
And I really thought, I also thought that we had, Stacy,
Yeah.
Augustine.
Well, we were
Yeah,
going
it's all
to,
together.
and I think that's where.
As far as I know, all this
Yeah,
is too, well,
But then
You're right.
she couldn't
oh, yeah.
make
Well,
today,
yeah.
so we had to.
You're right, and I just kept
I think it
mine
matches
on my calendar, and I kept on thinking, man, that's gonna be a full day by the time we, because that's
Yeah.
gonna take some time.
Services, Sheriff's Department.
And that's all, yeah,
It's all one thing.
well, yeah, I mean, it all goes in that
And that
basket.
dirty bird tab
Yeah.
down there, yeah.
And then all that stuff is missing. Yeah, that's what I'm told anyway.
It was scary. Did your son get real high with, I mean, is that easy?
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, I know it's management all the time on your part, but.
yeah. Yeah, we, after we got filled with sickness in December, and then got into January, got another round of it, but he's over all that now, so hopefully we'll be on the.
When he gets sick like that, does that affect his blood sugar pretty bad, or does it?
Yeah, it will, it can.
Yeah,
I mean, if you don't keep him on top of him drinking water, he'll get dehydrated, and end up in the ER, as we did. And so, when I recognized yesterday he didn't drink much water, I said, you have got to drink.
how old is he?
12.
Oh.
So then he's like, he was running a little high, but because of what he ate, and he's like, are we gonna have to go to the ER? And I said, no, but you've got to drink water. And then he was playing basketball too when he got sick, so it was kind of a double whammy.
Yeah.
But basketball's over after today, so
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what Keegan says, he goes, all you gotta do is drink more water and flush it out. He's kinda right, it really, I do, it really does.
It helps for him, but more than anything, he just needs more insulin too. So this is kind of a combination,
Yeah.
so. But it will help bring it down if he has had insulin, he needs to get more water. He still needs to drink water.
Yeah, yeah.
We all need water.
That
He
is,
is.
none of us hardly drink enough.
Oh, no.
So, anyway.
Still going as hard.
Yeah,
You're getting close.
no doubt, no doubt.
Are you around tomorrow?
Probably.
It's kinda getting late, I'm probably gonna have to take off and go load some hay, finish up that mapping and try to get with you on that contract deal.
I'm going in about an hour to see if I can have my back.
Stay on top.
Maybe that hits,
City councils.
It could,
hits my knee.
Have to go to Burlington City.
It could really
Council,
help.
They usually,
I mean, you know,
the regular meeting would have been last
Key.
Wednesday, but
and everybody that tells you that that person's the perfect person,
City Hall,
has got
so
another one
they
that
moved
can
it
do
to
it for you. I've
They called me and,
several different ones through the course of my life, and
City
man,
Tuesday,
really
everybody's
helped
going
me.
to Thursday.
No.
I can't make it feel much worse, so I should get started.
That's the bad thing, about it. Sometimes when it's really bad,
You don't have to.
you don't get too much results the first time or two.
Let's see, whatever works
Other
for
than
them.
maybe it starts going in the right direction.
My problem is, I don't have time to deal with my back being like this.
Huh, I wouldn't know what that's like.
Will you send me the
My wife
The
tells me
original
all the time.
commencement of minimum maintenance road for the last one? I went through my files on my phone.
Now it's one's in Lawrence and
The first one that we did for the northwest, I think it was for the,
Oh, yeah. That's what I told that gal once.
but wherever it was, the first one we did, it was in twenty-three. The one that I'm looking for is the next one, that started the one before.
Get that drive.
Is that the one that was in July of last year?
Okay, she will get me at like 6 o'clock in the
yeah,
evening.
I'll email it.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Just wanna make sure I get the dates and times right.
Oh, yeah, 'cause I need to get that set.
Ryan sent me a reminder too.
Okay. I will get it sent right over.
My kids used to walk on my back when I was throwing out loading hay and stuff years ago, but the kids have gotten bigger and my back's got more sensitive.
And it hurt your work, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think they would. I don't think I could hack it now.
When did it start? When
Probably when I was lifting something that I shouldn't have, then.
You had an episode here 6 months ago or so, didn't you?
I probably push it at times.
Huh.
In my younger days, it didn't bother me.
You were all bulletproof and could drop dirt on stuff.
Kind of a personality trait there, isn't it? We all trying to do what we used to do.
Oh, heaven,
Great.
yeah.
It don't work very good for me either.
It's about 6 or 8
Still
years
works,
ago,
it still works up here, it's just the body that fails.
Yeah.
I got talked into playing in a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. And, one of the guys who was on my team, to let you know how much older we were than our competition, his nickname was the Silver Fox. And he was the Silver Fox because his hair was. So, I remember being out there and way back in the day, I used to play a lot of basketball and would dive all over the place. Well, we were playing, I don't remember where we were now, we were playing and I'm out there and the ball goes over here, like, I'm gonna dive for it, yes. I learned really fast that my mind tells me that it'll be fine, but my body told me right away that it won't be fine. So I have to be very, very careful.
I understand.
I have some friends who always tell me, says, remember, you're not in your 20s and your knees. You don't want to tear your ACL.
Yeah.
That is a good place.
Get so tickled at my mother-in-law. She was 97 and lived in assisted living, and her mind was just perfect. And they played pitch. The little old ladies that played pitch, and she goes, well, it's not fair. I can't take money from those old people. You know, well, she was older than any of them in the group, you know. She kept talking about those old people, and she felt guilty if she won, you know.
Have you got all
Separated
moved?
from here.
Have you got all moved?
Nope. I keep on weather for November and December. I think I was not feeling so hot. Then the weather hit. One thing after another.
Do they surrender this or not? I think this is separate from that, I think.
I think the colored paper really
It is
doesn't
about
mean
it.
much, Todd.
Yeah, look
Correct,
pretty.
Angie? Yeah.
It may mean something to them, but by the time it goes through here, it's kind of like,
Yeah, it gets shuffled anyhow from
Yeah.
taking off the bottom of the top to the bottom of the stack, the top of the stack, everything gets shuffled.
It does.
I get annoyed when I'm not certain whether I kept the batches separate or not, but I guess somebody will figure it out if it doesn't fit with their group. So I don't intend to do that. About that. So Angie, I think we'll probably make some kind of a bid packet, I suppose, for this land. So, I talked to the girls yesterday, last week,
yeah.
and they said, you have a color printer out here this week. Can you give a copy, something like that,
Yep.
to where we can see?
Yep.
You know, we may wanna kind of eliminate the other properties, you know, and just
Uh-huh.
show
Can
them
do
one
that,
of
yeah.
these, but that way, you know, I can refer to Field 11 and Field 3 or whatever, so.
We can do it.
And then we'll have another map probably from Kara that shows where we drew around this and where we calculated
Sure.
acres and stuff. So,
Yep, that's what we
okay,
do it.
we'll probably have to put that down. I don't know how many bidders we would expect. I wouldn't think we'd have more than 10, but, you know, have to
Yeah.
have kind of information deal for them to take, I suppose.
Yep, we'll put a packet together when we get everything ready and have it available.
Okay, okay, very good. Somebody was spreading some terrible rumor that there's supposed to be another cold front coming in a week or two. Is that right, or? I'm really
We
hoping-
need to stop listening.
I heard that there was, but I'm hoping it'll go, it'll stay
Spring break
north.
time's getting ready to roll around.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
This last cold front, I mean, at least we didn't end up with a terrible amount of snow, and the snow was dry enough to where it,
It really settled down and went away, really.
it did, it's,
But
It was easy
When that
to
stuff-
shovel.
yeah, when that stuff was added,
yeah,
it wouldn't have took much more to block a bunch of roads bad.
That's
Because
right.
the stuff was coming off some of that bare farm ground and was stacked up head high in the
Yep.
ditch headed towards the road, you know. And like on 58, at least in
Yeah.
Italy, it's like, ooh, they ain't gonna have nowhere to shove that if that blows across the road like that. Better keep blading it to the south. Hmm. We've got another motion to rescind because same type of deal. Motion to rescind paragraph 21 in the minutes of February 10th, 2025. Thompson moved to approve the request to solicit bids for replacement of the roof by commercial roofing contractors for the roof at 405 through 407 Neosho, previously known as Marie Bells. Funding to come from the Economic Development Fund capital outlay item. Hugen seconded, motion passed. It's because there's not enough money in the Economic Development Fund at the time. So I'd move.
I'll second that.
Been moved by Thompson and seconded by McCurry. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Motion to approve the request to solicit bids for replacement of the roof by commercial roofing contractors for the roof at 405, 407 Neosho, previously known as Marie Bells. Funds to come from the general fund community improvement line item.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Been moved by McCurry and seconded by Peterson.
No, it was Todd, wasn't it? Oh, you did? Okay.
Well, they
Sorry.
both did, actually.
I thought I saw
Todd-
here.
Todd pointed his way after they both said it.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, do we have anything else, guys?
That's enough for a day.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess we'll adjourn at 2:42. Thank you all.
Thank you.
We're adjourned.
The hand's done for writing and it